looking back at the fear-filled moment that forever and completely changed her life. Sue Wynn says, "All of a sudden, everything looked very odd to me. I looked at my fingers and I could see some of them and others I couldn't. And I thought, am I having a stroke? What is this? What's going on?" Sue was 28 years old with a promising career when her first symptoms appeared. After several trips to the emergency room, she got disturbing news. The ER doc said, "I believe there is a 50% chance that you have multiple sclerosis." I just dismissed it. I said, "I don't have time for that. This can't possibly be that. I feel fine." She moved on with her life and career, but one night at home with her husband, her symptoms erupted. I was sitting watching the evening news with Jeff, and Jeff has a tendency to jiggle his foot, and so I said, "Jeff, stop jiggling." And he said, "I'm not, but you are." And I realized my head was shaking, and then it started to increase and grew progressively worse, and I was scared to death because I didn't know what was happening and I couldn't stop it. It just kept going on. Her family doctor confirmed her worst fears. She said, "I think this is MS. My breath just went completely out of me. I couldn't breathe. I thought, how could this be? What? How can this be? My whole life was flashing before my eyes, and she's just saying that everything in front of me is gone." Sue's husband, Jeff, was deeply affected by the diagnosis. A complete darkness had entered into our lives. A complete depression. Her neurologist found lesions on Sue's brain and immediately started treatment for multiple sclerosis. Her condition deteriorated quickly. Within a few months, she was forced to retire on disability. Sue says, "It was just continuing on with this relentless attack. There was no helpful branch to grab onto. I couldn't slow it down. The tremors started in April, and by August I needed forearm crutches to walk." Jeff watched as Sue's health deteriorated. "I was losing her," he says. Sue joined an MS support group to cope with the disease. She made friends with a woman who invited her and Jeff to attend her church. We were skeptical at first. I mean me. I was New Age, Buddhism, Hinduism, all that mixed together. And Jeff is an atheist. So, what are we doing sitting down in a pew? Jeff had his reasons for joining Sue in church. I was agreeing only because I thought it will distract her from the pain and the agony of MS, but they were so nice to us. So, we decided we wanted to go back again. Then we began to go back every Sunday. Sue remembers, it stirred us. We were both being stirred. We were being touched by God. I found myself wanting to commit to Him. They met with the pastor to find out more. He took us through a membership class, and I learned about grace. And so we got up in front of the whole church and said, She began reading healing scriptures, and with each visit from their pastor, Sue's faith for her healing began to grow. I had faith, and I'm saying, oh yeah, he's gonna do it. I go to bed this one night and a wave of doubt. Who do you think you are? MS is incurable. You're fooling yourself. You're not worthy. On. And I was crushed. All my faith, it seemed, went right out the window. I heard in my heart, "You are sinking in a sea of doubt." And I knew it was the Lord. I knew it was His voice. Sue went downstairs and read her Bible. All of a sudden, I felt a sensation that I had not felt before. I had felt maybe tiny little touches, but nothing like this. It was like oil was being poured on my head from the inside and was slowly diffusing down through everything. Out to my fingertips, down to my toes, everything. And I knew that as it was happening, it was Jesus, and he was healing me.